Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Let's Eat Orlando with Amy, Drew, and Biggie. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you didn't miss us too much. What's going on, Amy, Drew?
I am coming off the crazy week of Epic Universe, which has been open for a few days now. So I've got like theme park brain going on.
Yeah.
It's exciting. I love seeing what they do. So creative. Like it's not really surprising how creative our city is when it comes to art and food and everything else, because we have all the people who build that living
Yeah.
here, you know.
Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing. I know some people that actually do some kind of work in the park, doing some of the creative painting and stuff like that, and some of the things that be part of Epic. And it's pretty, it's very. I can't believe one of the stats I saw was 25 year. I think it's like over 25 years, first theme park built in the U.S. in 25 years or so.
Yeah, that
So,
was
which is
weird
kind
to
of,
me because I remember, I guess it wasn't considered like when they add on to the Harry Potter
yeah.
universes, that doesn't count
I guess not. I guess
because
because
it's
it's a
part of
brand new
it's an
park. Yeah, it's
expansion.
just an expansion, I guess. So
Okay.
that would make sense when a new ride comes on. I guess it doesn't count because it's just a ride in a park already. But
Yeah, but
this is
like
a brand
all
new
of
park.
Diagon Alley, like I thought that counted, but I guess it doesn't
Yeah,
because it's part of the
yeah.
Wizarding World.
So you actually got to go do it. You got to go and do some eating, maybe a little bit of riding. I figured,
I
even
did a
though I
little
know
bit
we,
extra. It was mostly eating.
yeah, and I
That's what they
figured
send me there
we
for.
can kind of chat a little bit about it
Mhm.
and then talk about some of the theme parks. Not something we usually do, since we usually talk local food spots, but I figured with it obviously being something trending and something you did, I thought it'd be kind of nice to be able to kind of talk a little bit about Epic and some of the food things, and then maybe also talk about some of the other theme parks and food that we've enjoyed and like, and make it a kind of like a theme park eats type episode.
Because I love, even though I have nothing, yes, I love support local, but the theme parks are local. Locals work at
Yeah,
the theme parks. When you go there,
yeah,
you're supporting them and they're fun,
yeah.
they are fun. It's just, I just want to make sure, like you, that everybody knows that that's not all we are, you know,
Correct. It's nice that we
but
can
it
be a
is a big
tourist when we want to be a tourist.
Yes, and Epic is great. I loved taking my kids to the different parks when they were little. I still enjoy going. I'm not there, as Disney, Universal, they have like monster level fans, that just have every car magnet and every lanyard and every collector's pin and all of the lore, and it's fun, it's like a whole universe of stuff.
Yeah. So tell me, just give the listeners. I know you've wrote about it as well, but just kind of talk about a little bit, I guess, the experience of going to the theme park, of going into Epic, and then also kind of talking about some of the food, your favorite food places in some of the different parks.
It's a beautiful, I'm never going to be jaded. I know that I would go on, before I worked for the Sentinel, sometimes I would go on media events. And, I would be there with a lot of people who also go to media events. And I used to always marvel at how jaded, this is many, many years ago, some of them were, because I would always just be like, this is so cool. And I'm still like a total nerd that way. I love being able to be there. I love being there when it's, empty. I love being able to see it in that surreal way that only the people who get to work there see it. I was always jazzed to be there, and this was no exception. It was just, it's always so cool. And these worlds, I feel like I'm borrowing from them. This is not a paid advertisement, everybody
Yeah.
should know, but they use the word immersive, and
Mm-hmm.
these worlds, these parks, they really are. And I mean, anybody who's gone to places like Diagon Alley are going to know that when the Wizarding World opens up a new segment, that it's going to be 1920s Paris, and
Yeah.
it's just going to be a really beautiful, beautiful facsimile of that. And it
Can I
is.
ask you about the portals? When you go in, everyone goes in through those portals?
It seemed that is the way, I'm sure they have alternative, side entrances for different, or maybe for people to leave. Maybe, who knows, when the park is at maximum occupancy, they'll have other outflow areas. But for our points, yes, we went in through the portals. They made fanfare, and we got to go in through the portals, which have these incredible sort of LED tunnels that you've seen on the commercials and different. I'm sure there's like about 1 billion YouTubes already of people going
Yeah.
through there.
All right, so let's talk about food.
Yes.
Give me let's just, I know you gave you reported about it. Give me like the one thing, like, you're going to Epic again, what is the one thing you're going to eat again there, and then we'll kind of then talk about some of the different universe or the different parks, and you can
This
kind of
is
give me a
super
favorite
hard
there.
because I honestly have to tell you, there is one thing that I felt like I could totally, but it's filling. So, like, if I ate it, I'd be full. And there's also so many things I tried so many things, and yet there were way more things that I didn't try.
Yeah, there's
Obviously,
100. Like I think isn't there like 100 menu items, over 100 menu items.
what, like, per world? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
there's like it's like ridiculous the amount of food
no.
and things.
There are well, they're not countless. There are multiple food venues in each world. Then there are multiple food venues in Celestial Park, which is kind of like, for lack of a better word, it's like city walk in between all the worlds. There's like this central park location, Celestial Park, that's the outside, and you would walk around this and enter the different parks.
So everyone goes in through Celestial, and then you kind of go into the different
I
worlds.
don't actually know where, because we came in a different way, so I don't
Got
actually
it.
know what the main entrance looks like. This is an interesting thing. I'm not really
Okay.
sure where it is. But yes, when you come in, that's gonna be the generic, the open space outside of the worlds. And there are, there's green space and there's fountains and there are a lot of restaurants around it. There are two main sit down restaurants, multiple fast casuals, at least a couple of bars, and some of the bigger places have bars in them as well. But there are a couple of just bars. There's a tiki bar, and then there's a called CelesTiki, which is in Celestial Park. And then there's, I think it's called the Zenith Bar, which is right outside what they call the Astropub, like instead of Gastropub. Isn't that cute? So there's a bar right outside that's outside that you can sit around, and same with the Tiki Bar. And then there's food options inside each of the worlds.
So do you have a world that you would say that would be the world you enjoyed eating at, or each place that you tried had something that you were like, wow, this is pretty good?
Each place had stuff that I liked. If you really want to know my absolute favorite thing that I ate, like for food, it was surprising. There's a place inside How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, called the Spitfire Grill. And there's a huge viral hit in there, which are mac and cheese cones. They are these huge, I have a picture of it. If you put this up, you can go grab it off my Instagram and throw it in there. I have a huge picture of me attempting to take a bite out of it, which is impossible because it's humongous. These things went viral. And so I had that, and they were exactly what you would expect. It's like this enormous bread cone filled with mac and cheese and 3 different varieties. But over across from there is a fast casual walk up called the Spitfire Grill. And they do bowls, like with a protein and rice or whatever. And I had a salmon bowl there that might be the best thing I've ever eaten inside a theme park, like just to sit outside and grab.
I'll admit, I don't think I've ever said, "Ooh, I'm going to have salmon at a theme park."
Well, first of all, that's what, and I talked to one of the chefs there, and he has 3 little girls, and he watched a ton of the movie while they were developing everything. And it's true, in How to Train Your Dragon, which you and I have kids the same age, I'm sure you watched this movie with them, right? Yeah, and it's a great movie. And when Hiccup and Toothless first meet, they're obviously at odds. It's kind of like the Black Stallion, right? They have to he has to kind of earn his trust. That's the way I always looked at it. It was like a cartoon version of the Black Stallion, only the Black Stallion can kill you with fire. And he throws him a piece of salmon, and that's like the first moment of trust between the two of them. So he was like, we have to have salmon. It was a great choice. This salmon bowl, it was a gorgeous big piece of perfectly done salmon. I am always astounded that these kitchens in theme parks can this is, I guess, where volume is your friend, because that salmon's not sitting there. There's going to be a million people there. So it just flies off the grill and right into everybody's face. And there was like grains and a little slaw, like a salad, and blistered tomatoes with it. And it was like a gorgeous, actually healthy thing that you could eat. I mean, I guess it would be keto. There was no bread anywhere. Like, it was just it was amazing. It was so good. I still, people are like, really? And it came with like maybe an avocado crema, something. It was delicious. That was the
It
best thing.
sounds good.
It was so good. Everybody
So
else was
that
getting the steak bowl, and, like, people
this
were walking up, and I didn't hear anybody else order anything. They had other ones too, but I was like, "I'm gonna try the salmon," and it was it was really good. So that
I
was
like
my
that.
favorite thing, but it wasn't the only good thing I ate, but that was actually my favorite, most surprising thing.
I gotcha. What about, and did you go, so when you were in like the Dark Universe or Super Nintendo World or Harry Potter, was there anything that stood out to you or things that you enjoyed that you're like, wow, this was actually really good, or something that you thought like, man, this is like a fun thing to eat or go to be immersed into those worlds?
The big thing in Super Nintendo world, I think, is in Donkey Kong Country. They have this really, and it looks cool when you get the souvenir mug, but they have like it's like a pineapple and banana swirl over pineapple soda. So it's kind of like a pineapple float. I'm not going to say what you're all probably thinking, but it's got some caramel corn in it, and it was very good. I think that's like the picture. That's the thing that you
That's
want.
the one with that's the one that comes with a cool Donkey Kong cup.
It comes, yeah, you have to pay extra for that. You don't have to
Yeah.
get the souvenir mug, but it comes with a barrel, which is
Yeah,
very
barrel
Donkey
mug.
Kong. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a DK barrel mug,
Yeah.
and it's cool looking. That world is they're all just crazy cool. You go in there and you have these like bands, and you get coins, and it makes the noise, like you bang the band and it goes ding ding ding, and you collect coins, and it's the game. You're like
Yeah.
in the game. It's crazy.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, they have a salad there that looks like the piranha plant. That's kind of fun. Like it's a caprese salad, and they set up the tomato and the mozzarella like that. It looks like the piranha plant.
I love
It's
it.
very clever and fun. But I will say
Yeah.
this: both Matt Palm, who is our arts writer, theater critic, we were there at the Toadstool Cafe, and we ordered Princess Peach's cake, and so many people told me, "Oh, you got to get this cake, and it's gorgeous." There is no peach in the Princess Peach cake, and I felt like, and I will tell you, I walked up the chef and I said this. It was a good cake. It's big. It says for like that it's for 4. I think it could easily be for 6 people. This
Okay.
cake. It's like a sizable cake. And they have apples on it that are like dyed yellow. I was like, why couldn't they do peaches? There were peaches or maybe mangoes, I don't know, in the boba drink that Matt had there. And he goes, peach is her name, but it doesn't define her, which was one of the better answers I've ever gotten from
It's
a
good.
team.
I like it.
It was a great answer, but I still think they could have put peach on that cake.
I mean, that's kind of like when I asked Snow White what's her favorite sandwich, and she told me she didn't like sandwiches. She likes pie.
Where do they come up with this stuff? It's so good.
I don't know, but that's one thing that
They're ready. They're always ready.
One thing that I did when I had the theme park passes, and we had Disney theme park passes, is, and I have video of it. It's actually on my TikTok and stuff like that, where I would ask, since I had to stand in line with my daughter for pictures, I would ask every single talking character what their favorite sandwich was.
I love that.
So I have videos of name them. I have like Tangled and
the guest
all
house,
of
knuckle
Merida.
sandwich, and then
Yeah,
punch
like
it.
I had Gaston. Gaston told me it was like an egg white with like, because he was the 12 egg white and stuff like that is what he told me.
Funny, 'cause he's so
Spider-Man. I had Spider-Man when I went to California, and I got to ask Spider-Man what his, and he said the combo number 5, which is from the movie. But then I had some interesting ones, but Snow White definitely was an interesting one because I would ask all the time, so I would get multiple versions of them. And I really do think that they have to have some form of like list of questions that are asked, and then they all kind of share it, because some of them were prepared, because I had one Snow White told me she didn't like sandwiches like pie, but then I asked like another Snow White. It was a different person, I guess, or another version, or I guess another time I met Snow White, and she rattled off 7 sandwiches for all 7 dwarfs. So she told me she doesn't eat them, but she made 7 sandwiches and started rattling off literally different sandwiches.
They are so
for each
good.
one.
See, this is the stuff that makes me go, they're so good. They're so good.
Yeah.
They think of everything. And this is what I mean about immersive. Like, you're talking to Snow White, and she is ready in character as Snow White to answer your question as Snow White. I love that.
Did you get to meet any characters? Like, I know Igor is like the viral popular one for in the Dark Universe. Did you get to bump into an Igor or see any of the characters?
I saw the Invisible Man. which
Okay.
sounds funny, right? Because he's
Yeah.
wrapped in bandages, so
Yeah.
I was able to see him. But at the openings, a lot of these characters with the openings, but as everybody, well, if you don't know, I'm really short, so I can never see anything at these things unless I'm right in the front. So
Hmm.
I just hear them. So what I can tell you is the guy who plays Hiccup, he has the cadence of the Hiccup character's voice nailed. Because I heard everything he said and I was like, my gosh, that is him. His voice breaks like the way a character that
Wow.
old would, and the beat, you know how like he had that sort of hesitant, kind of awkward,
Hmm.
nailed it. Nailed it, was so good. We're not talking about food, but I'm just impressed. He was
No,
so
I
good.
love that.
I didn't see him though. I didn't lay eyes on him. I only heard him.
Did you eat anything? Obviously, butterbeer's is a favorite at Universal, but did you have anything
I did not. I
Wizarding
will
World of
tell
Harry
you,
Potter?
I tasted the butterbeer crepe, which is very popular. It suffered though because I had it, it was cold. So I know it would have been better warm. So for now, at the very least, the butterbeer soft serve is my favorite version of butterbeer. The
Okay.
soft serve is just the move. I love butterbeer soft serve. It's really good. So that remains my favorite butterbeer offering.
I like that. I like that. I would have
And
that.
but
Okay.
what I did try at Ministry of Magic, which was shocking, the woman who runs the whole show there told me, don't miss. You got to go to this one little place. Like there's a main place that's absolutely gorgeous and everybody's running there to get the butterbeer crepe and it's gorgeous. But there's a little place called Le Goblet Noir off an alley and they have a whole different menu. And on this menu is Jagerschnitzel. And she told me, you got to go there and try this. So it's like a fried pork cutlet. So it's kind of like, well,
Oh,
gee, could it be any easier to make that taste good? Maybe not, but it was delicious. And I tasted it. And then the photographer who I was hanging out with in that moment ate all of it. He ate the rest of it. He killed it.
what does it come with?
It
Like,
came
is
with
it just on a
fries.
plate? Is it handheld, or is it
No,
just
it
like a
came with
schnitzel? And
fries. It's on a plate. It has, gravy over the top of it. And it was just hammered and crispy and fresh, and it was deliciously done. They do a
nice.
really good job there. I mean, it'll be interesting to see it at volume, but they have a lot of places where you can order ahead on the app. You can order it,
I love
pay,
that.
which I would certainly recommend. You order, you pay for it, and then when you get there, you click on the note they send you, and it says, I'm here, start my order. And so they won't start cooking it until you get there, or you can order it when you are there. And there's a QR code on your table. You scan the QR code and they just know where you are. They bring it to you.
That's fun. I like
Yeah,
that.
it is. It's super cool. It's super
Yeah.
cool. It's one of those kind of like, I hate my phone, but these are the moments when I'm like, damn, this is cool.
Yeah.
What a world.
Obviously, I don't know if you've done quite a bit. I mean, one of the big things that I think we've realized now is food plays a big factor in some of these parks, in the sense that
For
a
me, it's
lot of these
everything.
parks, yeah, I mean, and for a lot of the parks, even in like the Disney or the SeaWorld or anywhere of those areas, they do a lot of the food festivals. They do, kind of like Eat Around the World or things like that. Obviously, I know we're talking about Epic, but I also kind of want to talk about the other house of the mouse. Is there anything over there that you have favorites of, or that
Oh
I
gosh, there's
know
so many
recently
things.
you got to eat at some of the stuff when they do, like Epcot does some of their food and wine and stuff like that. Is
Gosh,
there
I
anything that
use
you have go-tos that you usually like?
Well, that I always, my big thing when I go is always I got to try what's new. So
Yeah.
I don't often go back. But one thing that I can say Disney is consistent with that amazes me every time is whatever scallops they make at these Epcot festivals. I don't know how they get these gorgeous scallops perfectly caramelized every time in these little outdoor kitchens that they have there. But they are like the masters of scallops. Of fast casual scallops. Disney,
Yeah.
I will always try whatever scallop. I am always happy when there's a new one because I'm not going to try something that's been there before because there's only so much room in me to
Yeah.
taste all this stuff. But when they have a new scallop dish, I'm always excited because I'm like, are they going to do it this time? And they always nail it. Yeah.
I'm amazed that you order fish at the theme parks. That's like, to me, that's not, I think
Do
that's
you
like,
think that Disney would serve fish at volume if they could not execute.
No, it's not that. I think to me sometimes when I think of theme park, I think it's because I'm thinking I'm hot, I'm this and that. Like I don't see myself. I feel like I'm just grabbing something quick and easy to eat. Like
Everybody's eating those giant mac and cheese cones. It was
yeah,
97 degrees out. Like, I'm not even, normally I'm exaggerating. I am not
yeah. No,
exaggerating.
it
It was
was no, it
cool
was hot.
97 degrees out. And people are like, this is the best thing I ever ate. They're eating, it's like this big. It's
Do you think that's like how like at Disney everyone's like the big Disney thing is obviously like, or at least for tourists, is the turkey leg? Is there something that's comparable at Universal that you think is comparable? I mean, I'm pretty sure they sell turkey
Well,
legs at
I
Universal
love
as
the
well.
turkey legs. That's one of my
Yeah,
favorite things to get at
yeah.
Universal. I think it was last year. Last year they had turkey wings at Halloween Horror Nights that I
Oh,
loved.
that sounds good.
They were
Okay,
so good. And whenever I go to
okay.
soul food places, I always order the turkey wings if they have. At Berk, again in Train Your Dragon, in the sweet shop there, I don't remember the name of it, but there's like a little shop that has macarons and cupcakes and things like that. They have not caramel apples, caramel pears, okay?
Oh,
And it has a plastic bone stuck in it, and it looks like a big turkey leg.
looks like a turkey. Oh,
It's
that's awesome.
genius. It's
I
super
love
cute.
it.
Yes, I did not eat it, but I wanted to. But I
Yeah,
took
I
pictures of
love
it,
that. I
and I
love
will
that.
post them if people want to see the caramel turkey leg. That is
Yeah.
something that I would 100% try if I went back.
Did you eat anything at Celestial Park?
Yes, I ate many things at Celestial Park. Many, many things.
What it's funny because I think to myself, like I was thinking about this because obviously I haven't been to Epic, so I was trying to think of like, okay, what are some things that I eat at since we're talking about theme park foods? Like, what are some of my go-to eats that we'll have, or my daughter will go because she's been to Disney more often than I recently, and we were like, she and I were chatting about it, and I was like, okay, what are some of the things? And obviously like Universal, yes, butterbeer, things like that. Like I had it's funny because I started thinking about it. I'm like, I think I get more things at Hollywood Studios than I get at other places because Hollywood Studios, I usually get the Ronto Wrap, which is from in the Star Wars area, the Ronto's Roasters. I usually will get something like that, or I'll go and get like and it's mostly because I had it in Disneyland. I had the Jack cookie nom nom, which is like a chocolate. Basically, it's just like a chocolate chip cookie, but it's just good. I love a good chocolate chip cookie. Are some of the things, and then obviously Dole Whip and things like that. But or
Yeah, I love the float. I love that float
yeah,
with the juice and Dole Whip. It's the greatest. And you can also get it. You don't have, that's a nice part. I mean, a lot of places actually have their own version of that now. So you don't have to go to Disney. I hate to say it, it still tastes better at Disney. I just like it
yeah,
better at Disney because it's when. So, but if you're not in Adventureland, you can also get it at the Polynesian Resort.
hmm?
They have a stand there where you can go and get your authentic Disney Dole Whip, but without park admission if you want to go to the
Yeah.
hotel.
I like
So
that. I like
that's a
that. I
little
like that
behind the
idea.
scenes.
Yeah.
You can
No,
get there
that's a
by
good one.
monorail. The monorail stops there.
Yeah.
So you
No,
can do
that's a
that.
good one. I think I'd be very curious to see because right now you, like you said, for when it came to Epic, you've kind of you're seeing it currently right now. They're not at full capacity. They're kind of just, it's like I know it's unofficially opened, but it was originally soft opening, trying to get everything figured out. And so
How
I'd
is
be
there,
very
if they have
intrigued
a
to
full
see.
capacity, how is there a 5-hour wait for the Potter ride the other day?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I didn't ride that. I went to
Did
the
you?
circus show that they had there, though. That was pretty fun.
They had a circus show at the hair
Yeah, they
at
have like a show there that's like kind of looks like I'm not going to ruin anything for anybody, but that was
yeah, yeah,
really,
yeah.
really, it was really very magical.
Okay. I like
Harry
it.
Potter. There you go.
I like it. Very, very magical
No pun
Potter.
intended, but
No,
it
no.
was really beautiful.
Yes. And did you? And then what? Can you? Since I might as well ask. What did you have out of the rides you did ride? Was there anyone that you were like, man, this was a lot of fun. I want to ride this again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I would do any of them again, or maybe I wouldn't do, I don't know. It didn't fit right. So maybe I wouldn't do that one again. But if I have to pick, I went on 3 other rides. All of them were good. But if I have to pick, my absolute favorite that I rode was the Frankenstein ride at Dark Universe. That was
Okay.
like, I walked out of there, just the queue, like the design in the queue as you go from room to room, which, I walked through it basically, but if I were there online, you'd be winding through this whole thing, and each room of that mansion, just the approach, you know, because it's like this Frankenstein's castle kind of thing, and the approach is amazing, the premise is amazing. It has every level of technical effect in there, right down to practical, which I love. And it was one of those things where I walked out of there and I would have gone through that thing 10 more times if I didn't have to go eat 10 more things. And when I walked out, I was just like, I wish I had anything to do with it. It
Is
was
that
just amazing. I wish I could
that a
say that I
ride?
had
Is
anything.
that like is that kind of just like an attraction ride where there's like animatronics and you're just kind of going? Is it like it's, and I don't think it's a roller coaster, right? It's just
It's
kind of like
not a
a,
roller coaster, and
okay.
there are animatronics. It is, I guess, what you'd call like a dark ride,
Okay.
but it's smooth. Like, it's not like everything isn't predicated on the visual effects, like say in a Transformers ride, where
Okay.
the car that you're in is moving a little, but the visual effects are what makes you feel like you're falling off a building.
Yeah.
A lot of motion. I'm sure that it's amplified by the way they design. It's magnificent. It's magnificent. And I love the Universal monsters. So
Yeah.
there's just so much to look at in that ride that you would never get it all the first time. You'd have to go through it, I don't know how many times, and pick up different details. It's just mind blowing. It's a mind blowing ride
That's
for me.
awesome. That's awesome. No, I think that's one of those where I think I would enjoy that. I look forward to being able to go. I don't know when I'd go, but I definitely want to go and visit and see it because it just looks, it
And the
really does.
story,
I'm all about those immersive places where you're just like, oh
yeah.
my gosh, I'm like here.
This ride is like the ultimate in that, because as you go through it, before you get there, they're giving you more and more and more of the story, and then you're in it, then you're in the story. It's just,
Okay.
they do a great job. They do a great job. And those
I love it.
animatronics, man, oh my gosh, they look real.
Were
Like,
there there's no live actors in that one, right? It's just animatronics, or is there a mix of live and animatronic that you could figure out?
not that I could figure out. That I don't think
Okay.
there's any live stuff in there.
Okay. Cool. So that would be like one of your favorite rides that you got to ride that you
Oh,
would.
that's like the best ride I've been on. And I have to tell you, the one that I rode in How to Train Your Dragon was amazing. The one in Donkey Kong Country was amazing. But if you're making me pick,
Yeah. I'm just
this is the one
curious
I'm
because like
this
if
is the-
you know, that's what I'm always intrigued by to see what, and everyone's got like different styles of, some people are I talked to some people that have been to Epic, they say they love the roller coasters on there and
I
they
didn't
said it was
ride like
amazing.
the big bad ones. Like, I mean, but it wasn't because I didn't want to. It was because I had a lot to see in Celestial
You got
Park.
a
The
lot to
one,
eat.
Stardust Racers, I think it's called, is the one in the center of Celestial Park. And it's like, to me, it reminds me of Dueling Dragons, because
I was
there's
just going to
two.
say that's kind of what it has a feel
Yeah,
for. It
there's two
looks like.
different ones, and it's a different experience on either, but I did not ride that. But everybody I know
Okay.
who rode it loved it.
Did was there anything that you've seen from what your colleagues or that got to try stuff? Anything that you didn't get to have, but you like, wow, that looked good. I want to try. I'll try that next time I go.
The caramel pear.
The caramel pear.
There are plenty of different things. I would just say check out the coverage, because Matt wrote up the shows. Dwayne has been doing amazing theme parks coverage of Epic leading up to it, and more to come. So keep your eyes on the paper, because he is the expert for sure. And I have a lot of food stuff left over that I didn't get to talk about in my piece, so there'll be more to come on that too.
I don't know if you saw, and I meant to look up to look it up because I haven't seen it, but I know that like obviously the Today Show was here because obviously Universal, and I saw Trina, I saw Richard Blaze were on there. They were really highlighting a lot of the local stuff.
Chef Hung from Mills Market, I believe,
He was
there
on as well, right? And I thought that, and I was kind of curious, like I don't know what you knew about that, what they did, but I thought that was great that they kind of showcased a lot of local type brands and businesses as well, even though they were, while they were here, and they could have, and obviously commercial for their new theme park. But I thought that was kind of, I really enjoyed or liked the fact that I saw that in some of the coverage.
Yeah, well, it's just another way of saying, definitely come to the theme parks, but save a day or two to come out into the city and see what we get to eat every day, because it's
Yeah.
awesome.
And that's one thing I love, and I know a lot of people kind of be like, "Oh, this is gonna whatever to Disney or this and that." Like, yeah, I like this is business. Like Universal and Disney, they like each other and they want everyone to come. It just means people stay longer, or they basically now you're either competing for more stays, but it just means that you have more people to stay and spend more time at the theme parks, which means hopefully more.
Yeah, it's like you ask a person who owns a restaurant, they'll tell you the same thing. They want the other restaurants around. A restaurant row is a good thing, because you come for a week, you're probably not going to eat at the same restaurant every night.
Correct.
But you can come to mine one,
Yeah.
and then you go to my neighbors the next night, and you're spending your money in our city. You're going to go home and tell your friends that, oh, I ate at this place and it was good for their trip to Disney or Universal. So yeah, I think it's a collective,
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's all kind of it. And this is fun. I'm glad we got a chance to talk about it. I know it's not something we usually do, but I thought what a great time, especially since you got to do it and you and I were chatting about it, your time and everything, getting to eat at Epic. And I know you wrote about it, but I kind of wanted to just kind of chat and have the listeners be able to listen a little bit more.
It's very
I'd
theme
love
parky.
to.
I'm actually going to go very soon to Epcot and check out a new lounge that they have opening inside the geodesic sphere of
Oh,
space
really?
Earth. Yes. And they opened a restaurant there not too long ago. And now they're going to open up a lounge that's going to have like light bites and cocktails, mocktails, vino, all that stuff.
I
like
love
with
it.
the views of the park. And, they're always doing new, amazing stuff. Right now, California Grill, which is pretty well known, is celebrating 30 years this year. So they've got some fun stuff going on. There's always something good going on somewhere in Disney, which is, whatever. So there's just always cool things going on. And pretty soon, look, it's June almost. Pretty soon, in a month or so, we'll probably start hearing about magical dining.
Yep. And Bite 30.
And and all that's going to start over again.
Yep. And we'll definitely talk about that, because that's always a fun one. But another great episode. So great getting to catch up with you and getting to talk. I'd love for anyone who's listening, if you've been to Epic or been to a theme park, I'm just kind of curious, what is your go-to theme park thing where you're like, I go to the theme park, I have to have this? I'm always intrigued by that. For me, it used to be the ice cream cookie sandwich and on Main Street. I used to get that because it was massive, and my daughter and I would split it.
I know it's like kind of,
everyone loves that.
Everybody, I just love it. I love the visual.
Yeah.
I love looking at it. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with like a plain chocolate over vanilla ice cream bar.
Heck no, man. I love that. It's a good one. That and the Dole Whip. Those are always some good ones.
That the Dole Whip. I have a friend whose go-to is the cheeseburger egg rolls. You know that little.
Oh yes, I've heard that. And they also have a cheeseburger bao at Animal Kingdom that I heard is super good.
I have not had.
The one thing that I found out, because as I was researching, because I usually tell people my go-to is at Sleepy Hollow. They do this spicy chicken and waffle chicken sandwich, and I just read about it. I was all about ready to tell people about it, and they basically said that they changed it, and now it's Mickey waffles, so it's smaller. It's not a full waffle. There's no slaw. It's just chicken. And I'm like, oh, that makes me sad, because that was like my favorite thing to eat there. I would always that's what we would have for lunch. Since it was like no one ever knew about it, I'd get to go, maybe see a parade, then walk out.
Right.
But, that's okay.
There were a couple things at Celestial Park that I ate that I will say I didn't get to eat at Atlantic. I'm definitely going to go back and check that place out. But I got recommendations. Every person on the staff that I touched, I'd be like, hey, what's your favorite thing? Hey, what's your favorite thing? And multiple times I got the brisket at, God, what's it called? Oak and, oh my God, look it up for me. The Oak something tavern, Oak and Blade, Oak and Fyre.
Is it in Mead Hall?
It's no. That's at How to Train Your Dragon. It's in Celestial Park. It's the Oak and I can't remember the name of it. I didn't get a chance to put it in my story. They have a slow roasted brisket there. It's like a barbecue restaurant. And everybody mentioned the brisket.
Oak and Star Tavern.
Oak and Star Tavern. Everybody mentioned the brisket. The brisket there was excellent. And that was really good. It was a great recommendation. I got it from chefs and I got it from staffers. And then I went to that tiki bar, and I'm always skeptical. I walked right up skeptical because all these drinks are always too sweet for me. Always, And I tasted a bunch of things there that my colleagues were sucking down, and I was like, that is terrible. But everybody
Too
else
sweet.
loves it. So it's not up to me. But I will say this, that bartender at the tiki bar, CelesTiki, she mixed, they have a drink there called Waturi Punch. It is a tiki drink that she mixed fresh for me. They have other stuff like in the Fat Tuesday frozen machines behind
Yeah.
her. This was made fresh. It was not too sweet. It was super tiki. Like, it was juicy, but it wasn't like syrupy. It was a beautifully, beautifully done, fresh made cocktail. It was like this big, and it was delicious. So
Sounds
two
good.
things in Celestial Park that I can absolutely say, these are two that I would get. If they sound good, you're going to like them.
I love it. Well, that's our show for today. I'm definitely hungry. Now I got to go eat.
I
Obviously
still have to go
not.
work out.
Yeah, nothing. I'm not going to be eating anything epic, but I'm definitely hungry. But thank you so much for listening, everyone. Definitely keep supporting local. Keep checking out episodes. Subscribe. Tell your friends. And definitely let us know what's your favorite. What's your go-to or
I'm so
favorite?
curious. I want to know, especially at Epic, if it's something I didn't try. I would love to know. I would love to have a list of recommendations to go back and try.
There you go. Well, that's our episode. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you soon.
See ya.